Good morning. It is November 12th, 2024, and time for another Taco Tuesday here at WiLS. Welcome. I am joined today again by four of our esteemed vendor partners here at WiLS. You can see the agenda on the screen now. But in order to keep things moving along, I will immediately turn to our first presenter, joining us from FactCite, Trish. Hi, Trish.
Hi, everyone.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen and then that will enable you to share yours. And then the show will be all yours.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Okay, we'll get that slideshow going. All right. So welcome Taco Tuesday. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for letting me join in today for the next 10 minutes or so to give you a quick tour of our FactCite databases and how you can use these with your students. So let's get started. My name is Trish Kosick. I'm the library ambassador for FactCite. I'm a newly retired school librarian. I retired in June, so this is my first fall not having classes, and I'm just excited to be working with FactCite and kind of spreading the news about FactCite to librarians. What I loved about FactCite for my school district was you can subscribe to a single FactCite database through WiLS, or you can bundle and save. There are a number of different databases which we're going to be going through. And of course, my dog starts barking right now. I apologize. FactCite databases include, we have FactCite Lingo, which is an English-Spanish database with a very engaging user interface. So if you have a Spanish population, or maybe even your students take Spanish, this is a great database for them. Then we have FactCite 123, which is pretty much the foundation of our K-8 bundle. This is what I use primarily with my students because it's at an easier reading level, but then there is a step up to a reading challenge portion that you can then make each article at a higher reading level with a little bit more information. There are 4 biography databases. There's a biography for beginners, which has over 800 biographies of historic and contemporary figures. There's a US and world biography module that has over 10,000 biographies of notable people from around the world. There's Shapers of Society, which is about 101 narrative biographies of people who have shaped our world. And one of the most popular ones in my school district was the Sports Champions, which has over 750 biographies of athletes. It also goes over 45 different sports, so it pretty much covers everybody. I'll make sure that I tell you everything I need to say. Each one of the, within the modules of FactCite, at the bottom of each page, there is a part where you can make a comment to FactCite and you can request things. Well, we had a teacher from Wisconsin ask for more new and notable Wisconsinites to be included. So we have a new list, but some of the more popular ones are Chief Oshkosh and Curly Lambeau, Cordelia Harvey, who's Wisconsin's Florence Nightingale, and Harley Ann Davidson. So we do have the full list of new profiles if you would like to see the list of people. The email for anything to do with FactCite, any questions or any information you want would be owls@factsite.com. And that's also where you would send your requests. FactCite editors love receiving content requests from their subscribers. If you send in a request, they're going to put something together for you and make sure that you have what you need. We have a mythology database that has Greek and Roman and world mythology. There's also an easy reading version for the most researched entries, and mythology is included in the FactCite 123. If your students are anything like mine, they love mythology. We also did a big unit on mythology with my 5th graders, and they were able to get the information they needed from this module. There are 3 history databases. There's American history with over 60,000 entries on people, places, and events. Defining Moments in U.S. History is the complete text of a 35-volume print series from Omnigraphics. And then Milestone Documents Online is incredible. It has 1,700 primary source documents. They're from the US and world history, from ancient time to present, and each of them have a scholarly commentary and teacher resources. It's an incredible module. It's great for our older students. And then there's also Science and Technology, which covers the solar system, animals, planets, earth science, physics, and chemistry. Countries and Cultures, which is a really nice alternative to Culturegrams. I don't know if any of you already subscribe to Culturegrams. This is a great alternative. And then there's General Reference, which covers literature, religion, film, theater, dance, art, and more. The other great thing about FactCite are the accessibility features. There's a distraction-free and consistent screen design, which you'll see as soon as we go live here in a few minutes. You can view each result in pages or on one page where you would scroll, and there are multiple search options. There are self-checking quizzes on many of the articles. There's read-along, customizable translation. You can do text-to-speech. You can enlarge the text, change the font, and do page masking. So all of these features are great for our students who need a little bit extra support. So we're going to go live. And I'm going to show you FactCite in the wild here. Okay, so here's what FactCite looks like when your students log on. It'll look just like this with your name up here at the top. Here are the different modules. We talked about each one of them. It's very simple and easy for the students when they log on to go to where they need to go. And of course, only the modules that you're purchasing would be the ones that are up on the screen. So today we're going to look at FactCite 123. So when I click on that, I can do my search in a couple different ways. I can either type in my search term. I can go to the alphabet and pick the first letter of my search term, or I can scroll through the different submodules here and click on the one that is closest to what I'm looking for. So today I'm going to search for earthquakes. So I'm going to go under Earth Science, which gives me a lot of different topics. Scroll down, and here's my earthquake. When I click on that, you can see that it's just a really nice, easy to read web page for the students. Now, this is page 1 of earthquakes. When I scroll down a little bit, you should be able to see that there are 11 different pages. I can either go page by page, or I can go up here where it says view one page, click that, and then it'll be just a scrolling like we do on a phone or an iPad. As you can see, there are full color illustrations, there's maps or full color photographs, maps. You'll find illustrations, and sometimes there's timelines. It just really depends on what the topic is that they're searching. So this would be for our younger readers. It's in a very easy to read format. Then at the bottom of every page on Step Up on FactCite 123 is a Step Up to Reading challenge. When you click on that, it changes the reading level to a higher reading level, gives you more information. You're still getting, I'm going to view on one page again, you're still getting the photographs, the drawings, the maps, and everything else from the other page, but there's just a little bit more information at a higher reading level. This is what works so well for my middle school students. They were able to step up to reading, still using FactCite 123 that they had been using when they were younger, and get the information that they need. Okay, I want to show you quickly a couple of the accessibility features. I'm going to go back up to the top. You can listen to the article being read. simply by clicking
Earthquake.
listen.
A sudden shifting, settling, or other dislocation of a portion of the.
I'm going to assume you could hear that, so it just read it to me. Just quickly, a couple of the other accessibility items would be under text mode. I can change the font. I can change the size of the font. And then I can also do page masking, which this helped. I have some students that would use this all the time because it just helped them stay engaged with what they were reading and help them to mask out everything else on the page. So page masking is available throughout all of FactCite's databases. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom because I want to show you the citations. We have the three main citations here, plus just the article URL, which sometimes I would use this with the younger students. Also, if you subscribe to Noodle Tools, you can just click right on Noodle Tools and it will, if you're logged into Noodle Tools, it will put it right into your citation for you. While we're down in this section of the web page, I also want to show you what is truly an amazing resource, and it's this tips for teachers down here. When I discovered this, when I was using FactCite, I was able to go to the getting started videos and show them to my teachers so my teachers would know what I was doing with their students as the librarian, and we would work together. Once they saw what FactCite was doing for me, then they would be able to use it as well. Also, we have some student activities that are available if you wanted to do a mythology scavenger hunt for just for some fun things to do, or little different assessments that you can use. There's another whole area of teacher resources by subject area that you can go to, like a Holocaust. This Holocaust inquiry assignment is a whole lesson. So a whole unit right here that you can do on the Holocaust. So I just wanted to show you that briefly so you knew that that was there. Let's go back to our slideshow here. FactCite integrates with all of the learning management systems so that your students would have just a one-click. Like I showed you, there's citations on every page. You can integrate with Noodle Tools. We have the translation. I didn't show you that, but you can translate any of the web pages simply by highlighting and then picking your what you want to translate to: Arabic, French, Thai, whatever. There's also a dictionary, and I showed you the tips for teachers. Oops, sorry. Okay, the databases are for students at all levels. It's device neutral. It'll work on any device: Chromebooks, Macs, Dells, whatever, and can be customized, like I showed you, for individual students using the accessibility features to help all of our students be successful. And the editors are happy to develop content for you and your students, which I think is just a real bonus. So we're always here to help. You can ask WiLS for pricing. The subscriptions are very affordable. That's how I was able to have it so many years at my school. owls@factsite.com would be the email to contact them, or the phone number here at the bottom. And you can also request a FactCite trial today just by contacting FactCite. They will work with you to put a free trial together so you can actually use these with your students to see if they're something that would help with your lessons. There's also this trial form here in the green, if you can just fill that out if you don't want to call or email. Okay, how'd I do with time, Jeff?
Perfect. Absolutely spot on, Trish. So thank you so much for showing us around FactCite. I'm always struck by the breadth of subjects in the catalog there, all the different databases, and I know that FactCite products are very popular with our school librarians. So thanks for showing us around.
Hey, thank you, Jeff.
For those of you just joining us, I am going to just very quickly introduce our next presenter. So Joining us from LexisNexis. Oh, and I meant to say this at the beginning. If you have questions, please feel free to put them into the chat window, and we'll make sure that our presenters see them. But joining us to talk to us about, talking to us about Nexus Uni today is Lynn Smith, coming to us from LexisNexis. Lynn, looks like you're ready to take off. You ready to go?
Yes, Jeff, and thank you so very much for Jeff for giving us this opportunity to present during Taco Tuesday. I've done this before, and it's always been a lot of fun. Hello, everyone. My name is Lynn Smith, and I'm one of the dedicated training consultants for Nexus Uni. Right now, you can see my name, but more importantly, you have my email address. So if you ever have any questions about Nexus Uni, or any LexisNexis product, please do not hesitate to contact me. I do want to point out that when most people think about Nexus Uni, they think about it in terms of colleges and universities. Please be aware that we do have a Nexus Uni version for what we call the secondary market, and it is utilized by a lot of junior high schools in terms of their debate team because of the nature of the materials. But I do want you to be aware that we do have a version for the secondary market. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start sharing Nexus Uni. And for those of you that are a current customer or may not be a current customer, over the summer, we did an upgrade of Nexus Uni. And the primary reason we did this upgrade of Nexus Uni is because, yes, Nexus Uni is utilized by almost many major colleges and universities in the United States and around the world. But keep in mind that your students, when they leave the academic market, the academic world, as I like to say, they're going to see a LexisNexis product when they go to their professional careers. Keep in mind that we're utilized not just by law firms, the government, whether we're talking about federal or state, banking, media, pharmaceuticals, by a number of different industries and markets. And just so you all know very quickly, my background, I have a master's in information library studies from the University of Michigan. I also have a JD, a law degree from St. Louis University School of Law. So I like to say when it comes to my occupation, I have multiple personalities. I'm a librarian, I'm a law librarian, I'm an attorney, but please don't share that with anyone. But my primary job is to go out and do training and consulting work for LexisNexis. And I've been in the academic market since the early 2000s. So over the last 20 years, what I've always told our academic customers is that when you were training your students on our academic product, you were giving them the foundation to use any LexisNexis product when they went to their professional career. The problem was the academic product did not mirror the corporate product. So for your students, after utilizing Nexus Uni for their academic career, when they graduated and they went to their professional career, and someone says, do you know how to use LexisNexis? They said yes, but when they sat down and they looked at the product, it wasn't the same. So they had a learning curve. Basically, now the interface that you see right now in front of you is the same interface that our corporate customers utilize. So for all of our academic customers, yes, you're truly preparing your students for their professional careers, for the professional world. What I want to do is highlight some great enhancements that came with this upgrade. So what I'm going to simply do is I'm going to type in my search of free speech or freedom of speech. And just like all databases or most databases, if you're looking for that exact phrase, put that exact phrase in quotation marks. What I like to tell people all the time about the connectors, you have a lot of flexibility. You can put them in uppercase, lowercase. For the and, I can use the ampersand.
Hey, Lynn,
Yes.
I think we're still seeing the slides.
Oh, I am so sorry. My apologies. I thought I did that correctly. Am I sharing now, Jeff?
I'm still seeing the
Okay, let me
slides.
just stop. Let me just. Let me try this. You send it now? Yes, I see.
There we
Thank you. I
go.
do apologize for that. I thought I was sharing
No
properly.
problem, no
So
problem.
as you see now, this is the product that your students will now see. And as I indicated, it's the same interface that our corporate customers utilize. So you're truly preparing your students for their professional careers. So as I type my search, as I said, looking for an exact phrase, put it in quotation marks. You can use all the traditional connectors, but the system is very flexible. So 2 great new enhancements that you have with the upgrade. The first enhancement is analytics. Up at the top on the right side, you're going to see these 3 boxes. I'm going to click on the third one, which would take us just to that, analytics. Now you have graphics and charts that basically analyze your search results. So as you will see coverage over time, top publications, top companies mentioned, people mentioned, subjects, industries. What's great about these analytics is that they are also interactive. But more importantly, one can download these graphics, charts, analytics. You can do a CSV or a PNG. And for those of you not familiar with what we mean by CSV, basically the raw data, an Excel spreadsheet. Also, what's great about the analytics is that on your left side, you're going to see what we like to call our post-search filtering options, because that search that I did was very broad. I said basically search all content types, all available dates. So if I wanted to, I can use my wonderful post-search filtering options to filter down, to narrow down. And I just want to take this opportunity to let you know that on LexisNexis products, when we talk about news, we're not just talking about those traditional written sources that most people tend to think about, such as newspapers, magazines, and journals. Please remember we have those wonderful word-for-word transcripts. Who said what was said. We've got wonderful news wires and press releases. And I like to remind especially my academic customers, those in the librarians that work with the business students, the business faculty members. One of the great transcripts we have is fair disclosure, which is those actual corporate transcripts of corporate meetings. But I'm just going to click on newspapers. So now we're just filtered down to newspapers. System's having a moment. Okay, that's supposed to work. Not sure what's going on today. Sometimes we could have issues and I'm on this call and I'm not aware of it. I'm just going to click the refresh just to kind of give it a nice little. There we go. Sometimes it's just a little momentary thing. But my point is if you've done any type of filtering and you click on your analytics, please keep in mind that the analytics will be reflective of your search results. So I'm looking at just newspapers. And so now you will see that the graphics, the charts, the analytics are going to be reflective of just newspaper articles. So as you see with the publication type, we no longer have that graphic, that chart, because we're focused in on a specific type of content. So new enhancement, analytics. The next new enhancement is what we like to call a content summarization. Please keep in mind, everyone, the only thing I like to tell people that we changed was the interface. Same interface as our corporate product to basically, truly prepare your students for their professional careers. What that means is you're still going to have access to all the great content that you're used to utilizing on Nexis Uni, such as news, legal, company, financial, patents. Please keep in mind that, yes, you do have patents on this product, and you have patents for 5 major authorities. So if you ever want more information about that, please do not hesitate to contact me. Because on this product, you have access to over 15,000 sources, it is quite easy to conduct a search and retrieve hundreds or thousands of documents. And as we all know on this call, no one has really time to read hundreds or thousands of documents. So we've added a great new feature called the content summarization. And basically our theory, our view of the content summarization is this is a nice, effective way for a student to determine, do I need to read the full text of this document, or can I just close it out and go to the next document? As I like to joke, for those of us of a certain generation, the content summarization is a cliff note. So for those of us that remember cliff notes from back in the day, that's the concept, a nice, effective way to determine if you need to read the full text. But there are a few things I need for you to understand about this content summarization, just to kind of answer some questions that I'm sure people are thinking. Number one, how are these content summarizations created? They are computer generated. AI is involved, but let me explain. What LexisNexis has done is we have built our own machine learning algorithm that is pulling out key content from the article itself to create the summarizations. So, yes, AI is involved, but AI is not writing the summarization. We're using the actual content of the article to create the summarization. Just be aware that the analytics and the content summarizations are two key new features that the academic market has access to now, and they are key features that we will be expanding over time. So as time goes on, we will be adding additional analytics, graphics, and charts. Right now, the content summarization is only available in news that's currently in English, but by the first half of next year, we will have expanded it to the rest of news. And when I say the rest of news, I'm talking about all those wonderful non-English language publications that you have available on Nexis Uni. And it's just some of the languages that I know that are available on the product off the top of my head are Dutch, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish. So someone asked the question, Lynn, once you expand the content summarization to the rest of news, those non-English language publications, will those content summarizations be in English or the language of that document? Please remember they're going to be in the language of that document because we are basically pulling the content to create that summarization from the article itself. But please remember that you also have Google Translate, which allows you to translate documents from one language to another. Another key feature that we've added within the legal. So I'm just going to type in Plessy, and hopefully everybody on this call, you are aware that, of course, Plessy v. Ferguson was overruled by Brown versus the Board of Education. But just like before, as you're typing, the system will try to assist you. What I just want to point out is that within Shepard's, just going to Shepardize this landmark decision, which we know is no longer good law. Within Shepard's, you also have some analytics, some visualization. And this has been very, very popular with anyone that's doing legal research. They like this graphical demonstration of Shepard's. And for anyone that's on this call that's unfamiliar with Shepard's, Shepard's is what one utilizes in the legal world to check the validity of a legal document, because in the legal world, we can only cite to good precedent. So these are just some new enhancements that we have with the upgrade of Nexis Uni. Thank you, Jeff, for your time. Thank you all for your attention. I do apologize for the technical glitch at the beginning.
No problem, Lynn. Thank you so much. I'm always pleased to have you here because your knowledge of Nexis Uni is so in depth. You can always show us kind of new things or answer questions. I haven't seen any questions come up, but I know we've had them come up in the past, and Lynn's been right on the spot with a good answer. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you all for attending. I appreciate this opportunity.
It's a pleasure to have you. Right, I'm going to share my screen real briefly just to cue us up for our next presenter, coming to us from Bridgeman Education. Tom, are you ready to kind of take over and show us a little bit about Bridgeman?
I am. Yes. Hey, Jeff. I think I do need permissions to share my
Oh, let me
screen.
stop sharing mine, and then
Okay.
that will do it. Sorry about
All right. No
that.
worries. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Jeff, and hello, everyone. We appreciate your time and certainly Jeff's time for organizing this. It's nice to speak with the WiLS members again about Bridgman Education. Bridgman Education, if you guys are not familiar, is the world's leading image database for libraries and library users. I always like to kick off with a nice quote from our friends at Library Journal, shouting our praises here, which just to read that very quickly, it says, Bridgman Education is breathtaking, a beautifully rendered product at a sensible price. Obviously a labor of love and enormous creativity. The high quality and extensive content is made easily accessible through quick search and browsing in a wealth of categories and subcategories. Unreservedly recommended for all libraries serving anyone needing images. So essentially, Bridgman Education is a collection of millions of images. It is constantly snowballing and growing all the time. And you might ask, well, how is that happening? Well, we're very much the sum of our parts at Bridgman Education. So as and when we sign up a new library or image archive or museum, such as some of the ones you see listed on the screen here, the British Library, for instance, we are able to ingest the thousands of images that these respective museum partners have into the Bridgman Education database, which is accessible through the bridgmaneducation.com website. And any subscribers, any library users who's subscribed to Bridgman Education are able to browse this wonderful archive that we'll do a quick deep dive into. And they can use these images in their research, maybe papers of students writing, etc. So it truly is a world-class and growing and diverse archive. We have museums from across the globe and all types of content. And again, we will go into, within the 10 minutes that we have here, some real depth on the types of educational content that users can access through Bridgman Education. We are used and proud to be used by some of the world's leading academic libraries, but we are also, and I should stress this, we are open to all, and I'm proud to say we are used by students throughout all parts of the academic journey. So we have elementary schools and libraries that subscribe to Bridgman Education. We have many middle schools, but as you can see here, we also have many leading higher education institutions in the US who subscribe and use Bridgman Education themselves. And I think that speaks to the wide range of content that we have available, that we are able to serve and partner with libraries across the academic spectrum. So Bridgman Education, the website, as I mentioned, it's constantly being updated with new content. We do permit users to save, download, share, and print images for use in their academic projects. We do offer data for libraries to review and see how actively the subscription to Bridgman Education is being used. So we can pull that data for you guys on request. We can break it down by time periods, so monthly or annual usage data we can provide to active library users. In terms of accessibility, of course, we are fully compliant on that front as well. And anyone, and I'll mention this at the end as well, but we're happy to offer complimentary demos to people via Zoom if needs be. And we can also set folks up, if you're interested in diving in a bit further, with a complimentary trial. So you can check it out for free for a short period of time and liaise with WiLS if you are indeed interested in pricing and subscribing. So, as I mentioned, there's over 3 million images available, and you guys can download them. And we'll get into some functionality as well a little bit later. And I said earlier, we have an awful lot of content across the academic spectrum. All kinds of subject matters are covered. There's very little, if anything, that you won't find on Bridgeman Education that any sort of school student would need. Again, be it at elementary level through to higher education. You can see some examples on the screen here. It's photography as well as art. We have educational diagrams, etc. But let's just do real quick for the next 5 minutes or so, a quick deep dive showcasing the types of content we have. So kicking off with ancient history, and we'll just go through alphabetically through the spectrum where you can see the range we have. So for instance, a photo of Darwin. You have a really nice computer-generated skull image there. I believe it's a Neanderthal skull, as well as anthropological and ethnographic items as well. We even have works by contemporary artists and photographers, again, on all range of subject matters. So you can see that content there. And stuff such as architecture and design, we have an awful lot of content, primarily photography, but some artwork as well, blueprints, etc. And if again, you can see clear examples of the range here. Even stuff such as science, again, we're not merely sort of art and history focused. We do have a lot of scientific material, and we'll see further examples shortly, such as these here for biology, chemistry. Economics, of course, we have a lot of artwork and historical content on economics, and film studies as well. Gosh, even shots of scripts, movie posters, things such as this. We have this content available within the Bridgeman Education database. Again, more scientific content. And history is very much a key focus for us, as you can imagine, partnering with so many museums, we have an awful lot of historical content that really runs the gamut throughout history. We showed, kicked off with an ancient history slide, but we really do have stuff through to modern day from across the globe. Further examples you can see here. Literature is also a key strength, again, partnering with so many libraries as we do. I mentioned the British Library, but we have many other libraries, New York Public Library, etc. And we have images from their archive as well. The arts in general is really well represented on Bridgeman Education, and it's a great resource for any students interested in the arts, visual as well as performing. And of course, there's other subjects as well that are really well versed and well covered by the archive, scientific as well as literary stuff. Politics, again, we mentioned history. There's an awful lot of content available on Bridgeman Education for you guys to explore. Again, you can see more examples with the psychology page. We have wonderful contemporary and modern art that is actually available from Bridgeman Education, as well as nice photography here in the middle of Freud. Religion, again, we're trying to be as inclusive and diverse as possible with the content that we represent. We represent, again, collections from across the globe, and we're proud to have manuscripts, contemporary photography, archival imagery, and classic fine art representing all faiths and creeds. I mentioned performing arts. We have a ton of wonderful performance photography, as well as manuscripts showing, Elizabethan era plays, documents, etc. So it's really a wonderful archive to explore for students who need images for their research or for their projects. So some of the functionality, just quickly to dive into and actually take you on to the Bridgeman Images site and show you some of the stuff we have available. This is the website right here. And if you go on as a subscribed user or a free trialist, you would have the same functionality you're seeing here. You can do a generic search for Galaxy if maybe you're working on a space-related project, and you can see the functionality there. You are able to just click the download icon for any images that are of interest to you, and you can download it directly onto your desktop for use in a paper you're writing, maybe as an example of the potential usage. Maybe you're an educator, maybe you want to, or maybe you're doing a class presentation as a student. Regardless, you do have a really neat functionality where you can actually create slideshows on Bridgeman Education. You can save these slideshows, but it's a really neat tool where, say you're doing something on World War II. So we have an example here for the Battle of Midway. You can see you've got multiple images coming up, a nice vintage poster, plenty of vintage photography as you'd expect. And you can create a new slideshow. You can add them to existing slideshows you may have already created as a user. And it's just a very handy tool. As I say, if you're a teacher or an educator, you have millions of images at your fingertips that you can show to your class, maybe on a piecemeal basis. Maybe you wish to add them to some classroom materials that you're producing. Or maybe, again, you're just someone who's researching in a library and you want to grab some images for whatever you're researching and you wish to save them. You can do that and add them to a slideshow as we're seeing on the screen here. You do have the ability to edit slideshows if you wish. You can also download the actual slideshows as well and save them to your desktop, which you can use for future use. So when you're done and you've added what you want to a slideshow, you can, of course, then click View the Slideshow, and that will take you to all of the images that you have within your slideshow selection. And you can share that even with folks, you know, and they don't have to be fellow subscribers to Bridgeman Education. You could just send it to someone's Gmail address, be it a colleague, be it a classmate, you name it, you could do that. So again, you can actually download a slideshow to your desktop. You can see it just downloads right there. And if you're good to go, you can just play your slideshow by clicking there, as you see, and it just automatically goes through the images that you've pulled for your World War II presentation in this example. So it's kind of a neat feature, again, for educators and students alike. So again, you can really see the wealth of content and range of content we have in this particular example on World War II. So we also have a cropping tool, which is rather useful. It just enables you to select an image that you found on Bridgeman Education, and maybe you want to focus on a particular area. So again, here you're looking at some more scientific content that we have available. And you can see on the screen here, the user has selected an image and they're just looking to zone in on a particular piece. So this particular science image, you know, there's quite a bit of sort of negative space there. So using this cropping tool, which is, as you can hopefully see, pretty straightforward in terms of what you're trying to do and intuitive. And you just want to crop in and focus on the key element in this particular image, you can do that and you can save that cropped image. So you can then go back and find it right there, having cropped it, and download the crop should you so wish to. So again, that's a really handy tool, and you can do this with any of the images on bridgmaneducation.com. once you are a subscriber. Again, all the functionalities that we're showing you guys on this tutorial demo here are available to trialists, so you can check that out. And again, this user's just cropping in here on this particular space image and saving the crop accordingly. So that is the cropping tool. We also, just real quick, we have a zoom tool, which if you're presenting your screen again to a class or something like that, or if you're just doing research by yourself and you really want to zoom in on an element, particularly an element such as these ancient Christian religious manuscripts here, maybe you're looking to zoom in on a particular figure. You can see there's some text on screen here. Again, maybe you like to use the zoom tools, which are very straightforward sort of zoom functionality we're all accustomed to with the microscope icons here. You can do that easily on the Bridgeman Education platform once subscribed and logged in. So that very briefly, hopefully gave you an overview of what Bridgeman Education is. Hopefully it touched the iceberg of the sheer depth and breadth and range of the millions of images available via Bridgeman Education. My contact info is here on screen. You can also get in touch with me via contacting WiLS if you're interested in pricing or a free trial. But yeah, hopefully that was everything. And thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Tom. Lovely to have you back. I am always excited to see the kind of new features and a little demo of everything that can be done. I don't know if I'd seen before, but that the kind of slideshow feature can be shared out really just to anyone. Once you've taken the time to build a slideshow, you can easily share that even if someone doesn't have subscriptions. So that's really cool. I can see that being very useful to subscribers. So just one of many things that Tom showed us that kind of struck me. So thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to very briefly set us up for our last presenter, coming to us from Docuseek, back again for another presentation. I'm delighted to have Julie Wang. Julie, are you ready to take over and show us some Docuseek features?
Yes. My name is Julie Wang and I'm with Docuseek. And yes, I had geared this presentation for K-12, but it does apply to K-12 through higher education as well. So again, sorry, my name is Julie Wang. I'm with the sales and marketing team at Docuseek. Just for those that don't know what Docuseek is, we are an educational, independent educational streaming platform. Our content is exclusive and highly curated. Our strengths are in social issue, environmental documentaries, and it covers almost all academic disciplines, which I will get into in a little bit. And as I mentioned, our content is exclusive and made up of more than 30 distributors, and we continue to grow both with the collections of existing distributors, as well as adding on new educational distributors every year, every quarter. And our main collection is currently over 2,600 titles, and it is expected to reach 3,000 or more by the end of 2026. Just to quickly just go over our streaming features of our platform. It is set up through your IP proxy, and these are kind of the questions we most frequently get asked. Yes, it's unlimited simultaneous 24/7 access. And our licensing options are extremely flexible, from 1 year, 3 year to life of file, from individual titles all the way up to the entire collection. And other very competitive features that you'll find with other streaming platforms out there. We provide marks. 99% of our content is closed captioned. We also have searchable interactive transcripts for the films that you are licensed, and you can always watch free 10-minute previews, whether you're a subscriber or not, just by creating a login. And we also offer free 30-day trials. And yeah, those are kind of like the top frequently asked questions that we get asked. And I mentioned we cover almost every subject area, you know, from agriculture and food all the way to women's studies. Basically, we have the exclusive content covering that. And speaking of content, so I like to show this to kind of give an idea of how our films can be used. And I actually use this, you know, in coming up with our marketing strategies. You know, our films, you know, very relevant to Black History Month, Women's History Month. Earth Day is a big one for us in April. Asian American Month. So these are kind of the ways that you can also use our films in the classroom. And this is just a quick overview of our distributors. I mentioned we had more than 30. Bullfrog Films and Icarus Films are our two main distributors. They are the actual founders of the platform. And we're also excited to have Women Make Movies, Good Docs. You know, if you haven't heard of these distributors, they've all been around each, I want to say, more than 30 years. So deep roots in educational media. So I'm going to kind of start, you know, we do have several collections, and that's just because of demand, and, you know, we're you know, growing every month as a company. So, you know, our main collection is what we call the Docuseek Complete Collection, and we're in our 4th edition. And that's basically, you know, I want to say everything that you see on our website, you know, all the content from the distributors. And the model for that is 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. You can also, sorry, let me step back. With the 1 year and 3 year, what we did was we included life of file selections at the end of your subscription. So you get something at the end of the subscription period. And so with the 1 year subscription, at the end of the 1 year, you get to pick 10 titles to keep, and that's all still hosted on the Docuseek platform. And a 3 year subscription, you will get to keep 40 life of file titles for life of file. Now, I do want to throw out another thing. If you're not, you prefer just a subscription model, we can take away the life of file selections and price accordingly. So you also have that option. Now for K-12, we actually curated a special subset, and that's, you know, mostly because of the content. And this is, you know, it's a combination of customer feedback of what we think does well, you know, in K-12. So we created this smaller collection. Right now, it's a little bit over 400 titles. And the highlights, you know, listed here, you know, a lot of climate change, sustainability, activism, history, literature, women's studies, and that's also available 1 year, 3 year, and life of file. And I put the URL in here in case you wanted to browse the entire collection. It's basically, you go to our main website, and then you have to type in ds/K12A. And these are just a visual sample of our content. It's current high level, you know, documentaries that have done the festival circuit, either nominated or won Emmys, Academy Awards, Peabodys. So we do our best to make sure all the content is relevant to today for your students. So I kind of wanted to dive into some of our popular, I guess, collections and content. So I mentioned We'll Make Movies. They are the largest distributor of films by and about women. We currently are streaming over 180 titles from them, and then we continue to grow their collection in our Docuseek collection. So all of the We'll Make Movies titles are available in the Docuseek Complete collection. We also have a big collection from Collective Eye Films. They do, all the current, again, social issue documentaries. Currently, we have more than 120 from them. And with Collective Eye, we do have a subset of non-exclusive. And that those are included as bonus features in the subscription model, if that makes sense. So in other words, you're not paying double for non-exclusive content. And these are just the samples of the exclusive content that we do have from Collective Eye Films. And this is also all included in the Docuseek Complete collection. Now, the Good Docs Complete collection is an add-on collection with 25 titles included in the Docuseek Complete collection. So, I'm excited to announce that they have decided to continue their partnership with us. So we actually are making available an additional 100 titles from the Good Docs Complete, from the Good Docs collection into our Docuseek Good Docs collection, which is an add-on collection. But it's priced competitively, and if you don't know Good Docs, they're one of my favorite distributors. They have amazing also Emmy Award winning, the Academy Award last year, Navalny is also from Good Docs. So they've been a great partner as well. But their main collection is an add-on collection. So I wanted to touch on our latest add-on collection / distribution partner, Progda. They are the largest distributor of narrative and documentaries of Latin American cinema. And we just launched with them a little less than a year ago. And their website, if you want to poke around, is progda.docuseek2.com. It's a separate site. It's a separate add-on collection. And they have currently, I think, over 500 titles. We have all their content. And I would say 80% is exclusive. So, we do our best to maintain exclusivity. And with non-exclusive titles, obviously, we price that accordingly. But yeah, Progda, we're excited to have them on board as our latest distribution partner and add-on collection. So another one that I wanted to mention, we have what's called the Global Environmental Justice Collection. They are also an add-on collection. However, this is really popular, especially with K-12. It's a tight 48 environmental films. And the great thing about this collection is it comes with teacher guides, and is also I wrote here, it's 48 films for the price of 3 because of a grant. So it's a very well-used, very affordable, almost priced at nothing. And you have all these amazing teacher guides. It's tightly curated. Can be used not just in environmental studies, but across the board, from Asia, biology. I think I listed that here. But yeah, so their website is also gej.docuseek2.com. If you want to poke around. And with all these collections, we can provide, like basically a 2-3 sheet information sheet through WiLS, or I can send it to you directly, which will kind of list out all the collections. And I also wanted to mention, it's not all or nothing, we're happy to customize packages, customize, whatever is your institution needs. So you can license one title, you can license 10. And I mentioned 10 because that's for K-12, the price breaks start with a minimum purchase of 10. What I call tokens, which is basically, you pre-buy a certain amount to save per title. And with higher educational institutions, it's 15 titles. So that's our token program. And yeah, like I said, we're, anything you see on our website under subject area. I just want something on, I don't know, New Mexico. We're happy to curate and price out a package for that. And let's see. Oh, so another I think is a great unique thing about Docuseek is once you subscribe, we're there with you. We want the collection to succeed, at your school, at your campus. We want students to watch them. We want faculty to use them. So we send you both electronic and physical materials to help promote the collection at your school. And that's it. It's just a quick overview. I wanted to mention, the best way to keep in touch. We have a newsletter. You can just sign up on our homepage. We send out emails about once a week, from programming to news to, whatever is happening at the time. And my contact is here, or you can contact me through WiLS. And I just want to thank WiLS again for having us on. So thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks for showing us around, and I'm always keen to see what new collections or new content creators or producers you've brought on into the collection. So it's always a pleasure to have you here. With that, we have come to, if you can believe it, we've come to the end of another Taco Tuesday. They go so fast. Thank you to all of our presenters for joining us today. I will reiterate what I said earlier. If you have any questions at all for any of our presenters, please feel free to reach out to us here at WiLS. We'll also include contact information for the vendor partners in the follow-up email. If you're watching this recording, you will have hopefully will have gotten access to it via an email from me. Otherwise, you can always email us at coop@wils.org. Thanks for coming. Our next Taco Tuesday, we're breaking from the pattern a little bit. Our next Taco Tuesday will be 1 week from now on November 19th. That's because of the United States Thanksgiving holiday, which is happening the following week. So we didn't want to butt up against too close to that. So we're going to have Taco Tuesdays back to back, the 12th, which is today, and the 19th. So we hope you join us then, and hope you have a great afternoon. And we'll see you at the next Taco Tuesday. Bye now.